Hey guys, don't pay attention in anything in this YouTuber. I just fight real fighters. Don't f***ing around with Canelo. Come on, let's go.
Canelo, I'm coming, my puta.
What was going to happen was Canelo apparently had made a deal with Jake Paul.
Everybody wants to see me beat Jake Paul. I think that event, because I don't call like a fight. I call like an event.
I'd watch it. Look, Jake Paul wants to test himself against actual,
Canelo, I'm coming, my puta.
not just world champion, but one of the greatest of all time. Fun.
The headline before this whole thing started to come down was you playing around with Jake Paul. I loved it. I loved that, what you had done there. Was there a possibility that could have happened, or is that just something where you were just playing around?
You know, you need to play your cards.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, and I respect it, because that would have been a hate crime if you guys ever got into the ring
No,
together.
I don't. Not even a call like as a fight.
Right.
You know, it's an event for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know.
Just to do everything different.
But it's not a moment.
No. Okay.
You said that you'd like to go up against Canelo Alvarez. What gives you the right to call out a 59-2 boxer, one of the greatest of all time, when you've not yet proven yourself?
I'm predicting what's going to happen three more years from now.
So I'm
going to get to his skill level and beat him. I have one of the greatest self-belief systems in the world, and I know what I'm capable of. And with this new team, I can give Canelo a serious run for his money.
Jake Paul exposes a signed contract and slams Canelo Alvarez for backing out of their fight, claiming Saudi money made the champ walk.
He told me before his goal is to fight Canelo, so that's, you know, where his mindset's at.
It get f***ed by Canelo. Oh, I'm sorry. It's TMT.
Yeah, you can curse. You can curse. You can curse.
I apologize, but
No apologize about it.
There's no way he get demolished.
Jake Paul just dropped a bomb that rocked the boxing world. He says he had a signed deal to fight Canelo Alvarez, but the fight was pulled at the last second. According to Paul, the contract was real, the date was getting locked in, and the whole thing was ready to explode into the biggest spectacle in boxing. Then, in Paul's words, Canelo walked away, and not for just any reason. Paul says Canelo ditched the fight because Saudi Arabia came calling with an offer too massive to ignore. A 4-fight mega deal that Canelo simply couldn't pass up.
You face off with Canelo today, what happens?
I would lose. But in 2 years, I have one of the greatest self-belief systems in the world, and I know what I'm capable of. And with this new team, the experience I'm getting in the ring under the lights, I believe in 2 years I can give Canelo a serious run for his money.
Would Canelo be the next fight? Finally, would that happen?
If he's not a It's not about how long you've been doing something, it's about how good you do it.
The drama didn't end with that cancellation. Jake Paul didn't just stay quiet. He went public, leaked what he claimed was the actual contract, and launched a verbal assault on the Mexican boxing superstar. He called Canelo out, accusing him of selling out and chasing cash instead of taking a risk in the ring. Paul's words painted Canelo as someone more interested in money than legacy. A fighter who once said he'd never fight Jake Paul but came close enough to sign on the dotted line before walking away when the payday elsewhere got bigger.
I just have one for you outside of this one. I don't know if you've seen the boxing world this week with Turkey Al-Sheikh apparently stealing Canelo from Jake Paul and managing to get a 4-fight deal. Curious if you've had any takes on that, and if you are impressed with what Turkey's able to do in boxing.
With what? Who's able to do?
Turkey managed to steal Canelo from Jake Paul, basically.
Listen, they control the sport of boxing right now. I don't think it's hard for them to steal anybody from anybody. I don't know the ins and outs of that deal, but I'm sure it's not too hard to steal somebody away from them to Saudi. Yeah, totally different levels there.
On the other hand, Canelo has brushed the whole thing off. He hasn't gone on a long rant or posted screenshots. Instead, he made it clear he doesn't see Jake Paul as a real challenge. He said before that Paul hasn't earned the right to step into the ring with someone like him, someone who's been fighting world-class competition for over a decade. From Canelo's side, it's about credibility, not contracts. He believes Jake Paul still has a long way to go before a fight between them makes sense.
And on fighting pro boxers,
I eventually want to take down Canelo Alvarez in the next 3 years. And people think I'm crazy, but they also thought I was crazy when I was going to go to fight Nate Robinson. They were like, he's a dunk champion. He's an elite athlete. He's going to take your head off.
Yeah, Jake, I mean, if people would have thought you was crazy if you thought you could beat him in a one-on-one basketball game. Canelo Alvarez is a whole different ball. You can make a case he's one of the 5 best fighters of all time. He's run through the 160, the 168 division. He's an athlete. I mean, because you look at Jake Paul, he fought Tyron Woodley, slept him, Anderson Silva, I think he fought Nate. Is there, I mean, if he wants to do boxing, why not fight guys that actually box for a living?
100%. Fight guys that box for a living and guys that are your age. How about that?
He says he wants to fight Canelo. I'm just saying what he. That's what he.
Hear you. Then why is he not fighting Canelo?
Canelo, I don't think Canelo wants to waste his time.
Yeah, I mean it'd be a 30-second payday for Canelo. So I don't know why Canelo wouldn't do it. You know, but they probably Canelo can fight real guys and keep his credibility intact and still make that kind of money. You know what I mean?
Would you ever do like exhibitions like that, or like people like Jake Paul call you out, or these like other big stars? Like, is that business wise like even worth it?
When I'm done with boxing, why not? Maybe I do it. I think it's
like when you're done like competing at the highest level, you're saying?
Yeah, I think it's good because what happened there is other people who never watch boxing, or they don't know anything about boxing, they want to watch Jake Paul because he's coming from he bring fans from other world, right? Yeah. That's good because everybody enjoy it.
Would you ever entertain that idea when you're done?
Maybe.
Even so, the idea of Jake Paul fighting Canelo Alvarez isn't dead. In fact, behind the scenes, there are people working to make it happen. Jake Paul's manager, Nakisa Badarian, has confirmed that a matchup is absolutely possible in the near future, possibly sometime in 2025. But he also admitted there are roadblocks, from timing to negotiations to making sure both fighters are actually on board when the moment comes. Right now, it's more dream than deal, but it's still hovering in the air, waiting for the right spark to bring it back to life.
Adam can't believe that I do believe you, and I believe Jake, that a Saul Canelo Alvarez fight will happen at some point, maybe not immediately, because it is such an enormous event. You're serious about it, aren't you?
So, 1, we're serious about it. 2, before I get to Saul, Lennox Lewis, pre-fight, fight night, champion from the UK, beat Mike Tyson twice. On record, leading up to the fight, saying he feels scared for Jake Paul and he hopes Jake Paul doesn't get hurt. Fight night, Jake Paul's gonna get hurt. Once he gets in there with that man, he's not gonna know how to handle himself when that bull is charging at you. People look at the videos of Mike Tyson and go, oh my God, that must have been rigged. He didn't do what he did in his videos. His videos, he has a stationary training partner or coach who's taking shots. Jake Paul is moving, using footwork, coming in and out. And he neutralized Mike Tyson, and he neutralized all the opinions of the former champions and the pundits who said Jake Paul was going to get killed. In terms of Canelo Alvarez, 1000% that fight is going to happen. Whether it happens this year or next year, that is undoubtedly in the roadmap for Jake Paul.
Jake Paul isn't sitting around waiting for Canelo to call him back. Instead, he's moving forward with his next fight, and it's a big one. He's set to face Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., the former WBC middleweight champion and son of boxing legend Julio Cesar Chavez. That fight is scheduled for June 28th, 2025, and it's going down at the Honda Center in Anaheim, California. It's a major venue, and the matchup is expected to draw serious attention, not just because of Jake's star power, but because of Chavez Jr.'s name and experience.
Oh my gosh, what news to wake up to in the morning. Jake Paul versus Julio Cesar Chavez. Zurdo Ramirez versus Torticos live on the Zone pay-per-view. MVP Promotions, Golden Boy Promotions coming together. Let's go!
This isn't just another fight for Jake Paul, it's a test. He'll be dropping down in weight for the bout, fighting as a cruiserweight and stepping in with a boxer who has over 60 professional fights under his belt. Chavez Jr. has 54 wins, 6 losses, 1 draw, and 34 knockouts. He's not at his peak, but he's a real fighter with a long resume and a famous last name. Paul has been vocal about what he plans to do in the ring, even going so far as to say he'll do justice to Chavez Sr.'s name by beating his son.
Canelo Alvarez fought Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., we promoted that fight many years ago. Didn't knock him out, couldn't hurt him. So imagine if Jake Paul can hurt or even wobble Chavez Jr. It's something that Canelo didn't do or couldn't do. So Jake Paul, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., it's a real fight. Yeah. Look, people keep talking about Jake Paul, well, he's not a real fighter, this and that. Well, he's fighting a real fighter now in Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. It's going to be a good test for both guys. Obviously, Jake Paul, he's a masterclass promoter in what he does. He's been doing some great things. I mean, Mike Tyson, 60 million people. Fighting Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., who, when he trains, when he gets in shape, when he's focused, he will be dangerous for anybody. Look, Canelo Alvarez fought Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. We promoted that fight many years ago. Didn't knock him out, couldn't hurt him. So imagine if Jake Paul can hurt or even wobble Chavez Jr. It's something that Canelo didn't do or couldn't do. So there's a lot of stories to come out from this, a lot of great stories for Jake Paul. So I just feel honored and proud that we can team up with MVP Promotions, with Jake Paul, and we can make Zurdo Ramirez with Torticos the mandatory. That's going to be a bloodbath in itself, so we're excited.
The June 28th card is also being promoted by Paul's own company, Most Valuable Promotions, and it's shaping up to be a major event. One of the co-main fights will feature Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez defending his WBO and WBA cruiserweight titles against Uniel Dorticos. That adds more firepower to the event and shows that Paul is aiming to prove he's more than just a headline grabber. He's trying to build something sustainable in boxing, both as a fighter and a promoter. While Jake Paul is preparing for Chavez Jr., Canelo Alvarez has his eyes on a different kind of challenge. He's set to defend his titles on May 3rd, 2025 in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, where he'll fight William Skull. That bout is huge because it's for the undisputed super middleweight crown. Canelo already holds the WBC, WBA, and WBO belts. Skull brings the IBF title to the table, so this fight will crown the division's undisputed king.
I'm about to be a two-time undisputed fighter, so that's all about.
You mentioned the Cuban style up there. What other challenges does Skull present to you though?
Oh, he's a very skillful fighter. He's got a lot of talent, and but you know, I've been in the with all kind of the styles, so I can adapt myself to any fighter, and I'm ready for May.
Canelo is taking his preparation seriously. He's already in Saudi Arabia, adjusting to the time zone, staying disciplined with his training, and following a strict diet to make sure he performs at his best. When he landed in Riyadh, he got the red carpet treatment. Turki Al-Sheikh, head of the General Entertainment Authority, personally welcomed him, which shows just how big a deal this event is for the country's growing sports ambitions.
William Skull, 5'11". Do we have the face-off guys? 5'11 and a half?
Okay, yeah, look, this is, I'm not going to take away from how big he is, but then I always go to the footwear. It's important for me. William Skull had Timberlands on.
Okay, but first of all,
still a couple
William Skull is currently listed at 5'11 and a half.
He's not 5'11", dude.
Canelo's 5'7 and a half.
Yeah, I'm 5'11". This guy's not 5'11". This guy's bigger than me.
I mean, that looks like 5'11".
That looks like 6'2".
Oh, you're actually saying he's taller.
I think he's taller. I think, look at it, look, dude, he is enormous.
Wow.
I mean, Canelo, you know.
I mean, the hat is a little bit big.
It's
like
a bit
one
big
of those,
as well,
yeah.
but it's still big. You know, I've been around Canelo for a long time now. I've met him in person, as I'm sure you have. He really is a 160 guy. Like, he's fighting out of his weight class.
Yeah.
I always feel like he gives away a lot when it comes to guys on the night in terms of size. Like, William Skull will probably be around the 200-pound mark on the night.
Saudi Arabia has become a major player in boxing lately, offering massive purses and bringing in superstar fighters. That's part of what lured Canelo to walk away from Jake Paul. While Paul was offering a circus, Saudi Arabia was offering legacy, titles, and a massive payday with real stakes. The fight with Skull is expected to be one of the biggest events of the year in the region, and Canelo's not just chasing belts. He's expanding his brand into a new market that's throwing money at combat sports like never before.
Looking great.
Thank you. I will come to.
Looking great.
Thank you. I will come to.
Still, Jake Paul isn't going away quietly. He's continuing to push the narrative that Canelo ducked him and chose an easier path. Whether that's true or not is up for debate, but one thing is clear: Paul knows how to make noise. His leaks, his callouts, and his media presence are all part of a strategy to keep his name linked with boxing's biggest stars, even if he hasn't fought them yet.
He's mentioned me before, and there'll be people out there saying, oh, Carl Froch's talking about himself, he's after a payday. Listen, I'm not after a payday. I'm doing all right. There's no problems with my finances, but I'll take the fucking payday, of course I will. And I'll end Jake Paul with one punch. I'd go in there one-armed and beat this guy. He can't box. He's absolutely fucking useless, which we saw last night with Mike Tyson. Talking about Canelo Alvarez. I've not mentioned Canelo Alvarez because it's just laughable. Jake Paul, Canelo Alvarez, can you imagine? I mean, if Jake Paul fancies that and he jumps in the ring with him, I will pay homage to him, because fair play, if he jumps in there with Canelo Alvarez, he'll get absolutely fucking destroyed, and it will be fast and it will be messy, and it will be bad for his health as well, potentially.
And to his credit, Paul has been building his resume. He's not just fighting retired athletes anymore. After early wins over names like Nate Robinson and Ben Askren, he's faced tougher competition, including professional boxers and former MMA champions. His most recent win over Mike Tyson, even though Tyson was far past his prime, still helped boost his credibility among more casual fans. Now, with Chavez Jr. on deck, Paul is pushing to show that he can handle real opposition.
He's a big guy for even 140. You know, I was at 35 for a long time. That was like killing me. 40, just like, I feel like, didn't you go, you skipped 140, right?
No,
you
fought a couple.
Oh, you
I didn't. Shamos, you skipped 140.
Oh, Shamos? Okay.
Yeah, for your
rematch. Somebody skipped me.
Right. Hey, Jake Paul?
Yeah.
Or Chavez Jr.?
Oh, shit.
No, he's gonna come back. Oh, okay. Oh, who you got at that one?
He's going to say, watch out, watch out, watch out.
I really don't know what the state Julio is in.
He's good, he's good.
Is he?
Yeah.
I mean, I can Jake handle Mexican pressure fighter?
Thank you.
You know, it's tough. Yeah, you're not used to that, you know?
Meanwhile, Canelo is operating on a different level. He's been in with the best of the best: Gennady Golovkin, Dimitri Bivol, Caleb Plant, and many more. His career spans more than 60 professional fights and multiple weight divisions. At 34 years old, he's still considered one of the top pound-for-pound fighters in the world. While Jake Paul is trying to prove he belongs in the sport, Canelo is already a Hall of Famer in the making. So what do you think about this? Do let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.